All right, people, it's time for something a little bit new. So every week, I've been doing every Sunday a series where I solve the New York Times Connections puzzle. It's also part of a personal project where I'm trying to get the 365 day streak achievement. And that's going pretty well because I think the streak is getting close to 190-ish, so more than halfway there. Pretty good stuff. But there's another connections related series that I wanted to start, but I was hesitating with that because I wasn't sure how I was gonna do it, and to be honest, I'm still not entirely sure how I'm gonna do it, but I'm gonna take the plunge today anyway. And that is, I want to do a series specifically about puzzles that were so difficult that I nearly failed them. And by nearly failing them, I mean I used up three incorrect guesses. Like I guessed incorrectly three times. For those of you who don't know how connections works, the way you know the game operates is that you've got your grid, 16 turns, four groups each of four items each sharing a theme. You got to figure out uh, what words are grouped with which other words, and then, hopefully you're able to solve all of it. You are allowed three incorrect guesses along the way. Um, and if you've guessed incorrectly three times, the next wrong guess that you make, it ends your game. Now, with three incorrect guesses on the board, you can still keep playing, right? And in fact, you can even use your incorrect guesses to give you information because sometimes it'll tell you when you're like one away from something. And you can use your incorrect guesses to help you win. But when you're at the point where you're at three incorrect guesses, you better damn well make sure that every single thing you enter in, like every single thing you lock in and confirm, had better be correct. Otherwise, it's over for you. You're dead. Wainalu like kicks down your door, shoots you in the face with a sawn-off shotgun. I mean, allegedly. I don't think it's been proven. I feel like, the litigation is still ongoing. But basically, you are on the brink of defeat. And I think it's that feeling that I don't really get to show that often, because usually in my Sunday videos, I end up solving the puzzle pretty quickly. And then sometimes I can think about it abstractly, about ways in which it might have been difficult to like some other abstract person who isn't me. I'm like, well, if I had fallen for this red herring, if I hadn't heard about this pop culture reference, then maybe I would have made some mistakes. But usually I'm not in those situations. So this series is gonna be like me actually being in these you know do like like do or die, on the brink of glory, like brink of annihilation situations, like actually being there. Uh, the reason it's going to be a tough series to plan for is because I don't know how often this will happen. In fact, ideally, I would only make one of these videos every few months, if even that. If I could sail through for the next 200 days, making no more than two mistakes per puzzle, I would gladly accept that. But this is a game where every once in a while you're going to be facing something really tough. So I was like, you know what? I am going to be making a series about that, but it's just going to be one where I add to it very erratically. Now, yes, theoretically, I could be a scumbag and deliberately start making wrong guesses just like in a puzzle where I know where I've already worked out the solution. Like I'll waste three of my guesses and pretend to be confused. But I'm not going to do that for two reasons. Partially because it would be like a scummy, unethical thing to do. But more so than that, it's because I love my streak so much, I would never deliberately put it in danger. And when you're 3 mistakes deep, you're literally one misclick away from losing the streak. Now, I have accidentally made like incorrect guesses that were literally just due to me, usually on my phone, like you know, you didn't realize you had a fourth thing selected, and then your thumb glances the thing, and you press it. I I would never put myself in a situation where that could potentially end my actual streak. And every situation where you're 3 mistakes down, your adrenaline's pumping. Well, my adrenaline's pumping. You're it it's a situation where these kinds of mistakes are also more likely to happen, right? So all of this is to say, I'm not going to be um, deliberately farming engagement. It might be just once every few weeks. We might have a patch of like 3 or 4 like a stretch of like a month where there's like 3 or 4 really difficult puzzles. But yeah, we're not gonna be making a habit out of it, hopefully. Anyway, I feel like I've been rambling on way too long. Before we get to the puzzle that I actually want to show you today, I'll also show you that I'm going to be using a different background for this series. Now, what you see on the screen right now is the regular Connections background, which I use for my Sunday videos. For the ones where I nearly fail, we're going to be using this background, which is also pretty similar to the thumbnail that I've been using. And we're going to be calling this Close Call Corner. Uh, and we will start off by showing you what happened in the puzzle for June 30th. You'll also notice I've already finished the puzzle. That's because I recorded the video of me solving the puzzle first. So when I show you the puzzle, it will have the old screen because I literally just designed this in the past like 20 minutes. Um, so it'll have the old screen. I also recorded the video before I was sure like where I would even be uploading it, like which playlist, and and so on. But yeah, so that's gonna be the plan. And without further ado, I think it's time to show you what happened in the puzzle for June 30th, 2026. All right, let's do that. All right, people, it is time for some more connections, and it is time for another. This is either gonna be me announcing the sad end of the streak, or this is going to be a really close call. So let's talk about what happened in this puzzle. So there's a couple things that I've already put in, and then there's a couple things that I have left. So these are the ones that I put in. Winter Olympics, tougher than it looked, because there are other terms that could have done with skating, for instance, fencing, boxing, but I picked these because they had a more like cohesive theme to them, specifically being winter sports. And then there's this stuff: fence, gate, hedge, wall. This one was a little bit easier, but the whole concept felt a little bit looser. So even putting that in, I wasn't super confident. So the first thing I actually put in wasn't these two. It was actually I was trying to guess at what the purple might be. So I put in this stuff, right? Let me explain my thought process. My thought process was I looked at the clues and I sorted them into these 4 categories, right? Let me put hang on, some more consistent spacing between them. So I was like, okay, it could be winter sports. It could be, things on the perimeter of somebody's property. And then I did this because I was like, okay, it could be ways to serve alcohol. Uh, it could be in a bottle, it could be on tap, it could be in a can, and it could be in a box, right? You get wine in boxes. It's a thing. And I was like, okay, whatever this thing is, it's probably just some pop culture reference that I don't know. And as luck would have it, with these three, they were both one away. So I was like, okay, well, if the alcohol thing is correct, and I was really convinced that it was correct, I was like, okay, well, what do we take out? What do we put in? I was like, well, maybe it's specifically the way you would get alcohol in a bar. And usually in a bar, they wouldn't give you a box with alcohol in it. They would pour it out, right? They would give you a bottle or a can. I've never had somebody give me a box of alcohol in a bar. So I was like, okay, let's take box out. What do we put in? And I was like, I don't know, maybe breeze is some slang for some type of receptacle that I haven't heard of. So what I thought was, I was like, okay, let's take box out and put breeze in and see what happens. And as it turns out, this was my most recent guess. Um, and you'll see. It's the thing I literally just submitted, uh, which is why it's not letting me submit it again, and it was wrong. Not only was it wrong, it wasn't even one away. So we know that this one is not one away. This one is also not one away. This one has two things from one category, two things from the other. This one has two things from one category, two things from the other. So from there, what we can deduce is we took box out, put something else in. That means box has to be part of whatever the main thing is in this one. And the thing that we took out, we took what do we take out of this? We took breeze out. Breeze has to be part of whatever the main thing is in in this one. So then I'm thinking, okay, bottle, can, and box, these are things that are commonly recycled. It's the only other thing I can think of. Bottle, can, box. And then the only thing left would be newspaper. This is a bit of a stretch. Like, if this is wrong, then the streak ends. Then, you know what? So be it. And then that means if this is correct, then the remainder must be recruit, breeze, on tap, and sketch. Now, the thing that's making me nervous is I can't for the life of me figure out what the connection is for these four. Is it some wordplay that I'm missing? Is it some phonetic thing? Or is it just some pop culture reference that I just don't know? It could be like names of movies or TV shows. It could be something like that. Um, it could be like it could be something minus a letter. It could be something like that. I'm not super confident. All I know is uh I don't think I'm gonna get any sort of epiphany. Let me just make sure I don't think I'm gonna get any sort of epiphany the longer that I wait. And the longer that I wait, the more likelihood is that I'll accidentally see a spoiler, and I don't want that to happen. So hashtag YOLO, we're gonna go for it. And okay, it's correct. Now, what the fuck is this? And my gut is telling me it's gonna be something minus a letter because for some reason on tap, I'm something is telling me that this really is on tape. Let's see if my intuition is correct. Oh no, that's not. That was not even. That was not even. That was not even close to being a correct thing. This is. Speaking of sketch, I feel like this purple category is kind of sketch. It is true, a breeze can be a draft. It is true that something that's on tap is on draft. Recruit, when used in the verb sense, you recruit someone, you draft them. That I'm on board with, but sketch as draft, I don't think I don't think that works because to me, a draft implies something that's at a much more advanced level. Like your first draft of a paper is very different from your from a sketch of a paper, right? Um, now, like there is a specific term that gets used when you're when doing essays is your rough draft. Now specifically, your rough draft could be considered a sketch, but the term draft without any qualifier, I don't know. I would not call that a sketch. I don't think there was any way for me to see what this purple was. Maybe some people saw it instantly. Maybe I'm just salty that I didn't get it. Um, but yeah, this I thought this one was a little bit kind of kind of sketch. But yeah, we'll leave it at that. I'm gonna call it here, and the streak does continue. Actually, let's see what the solve rate was. Maybe I'm just whining like a little bitch for no good reason. Maybe everybody else did perfectly fine. Let's see. Let's see what happened. Let's see what happened. Well, it's 1 a.m. right now. The solve rate is gonna go up to like the 60s probably. But a lot of people probably fell for the exact same thing that I did. Horrible. Horrible, yeah, yeah, see, this one I knew was gonna trip up a lot of people, and a lot of people would have made the exact same mistake that I did, which is this one, drink packaging. And then, yep, the same, literally the same thought process. Bar menu options or things that drinks might be in. And then I don't, this was my first like stab in the dark, like trying to get the purple before I got anything else, and obviously it didn't work. Um, but yeah, that we're just gonna call it there. But yeah, it's gonna be all for this one. It's still alive and kicking. I'm not gonna bother with the mini and the midi. They can wait. I haven't done strands yet. I'll probably do that in the morning. But yeah, let's call it there. And I'll see you next time.